Hello, my battalion and viewers. I'm the Knight of Arcane, and today we're looking at round 4 of the Danganronpa Ultimate Swaps, as voted on by Patreon. I think this is a very unique swap idea I came up with, and quite proud of the results. Anyways, let's check out our Ultimate Swaps, shall we? One would look at Hifumi Yamada and usually laugh when he claims to be the ultimate detective. But they'd be fools. Even at a young age, Hifumi had an eye for details that allowed him to find clues and then deduce their true meaning to solve the case. He claims the character of Sherlock Holmes came to him in a dream after his class talked about the famous fictional detective, and that dream led him to become a detective. Hifumi started small, with helping some classmates find missing or stolen toys, before noticing the clues to solve cases of vandalism and break-ins from his local area. All the while, he had his sister, Fujiko Yamada, helping him on his cases. Her Wilson to his Sholmes, he'd claim. It was after they solved the murder of a high-standing politician that Hifumi was invited to Hope's Peak Academy, believing some new eyes could be needed for some problems the facility believed they might face. For some reason, Hifumi said he wouldn't take the invitation unless Fujiko was allowed to at least attend the reserve course, claiming he might need his assistant on a case. They agreed to do this without her having to pay the fee, with Hifumi claiming he would also find the serial killer, the Edo Envy slasher, while he attended Hope's Peak. The ultimate detective now finds himself in a killing game. And while Hifumi has the bravado to claim no murderer will get past him, and that he shall find out who the mastermind is, there's something about these claims that feels off, along with him missing more and more clues to the killers and their motives. Is Hifumi Yamada the actual ultimate detective? Or is he one big fraud? Having Hifumi be the ultimate detective, I thought would be very interesting. You could also say a little funny based off his personality, along with it also being really funny to have Kyoko as his talent. But I quickly figured out what I would want him to look like. He's pretty much dressed as Sherlock Holmes. I of course looked at different versions of Sherlock Holmes in media, including Basil in The Great Mouse Detective, along with Sherlock from The Great Ace Attorney. Though I did have a hard time doing his jacket overcoat thing. Find it a little hard to do. But for sure still wanted to have that, along with having that hat that he always wears. Gave him also a vest to make him look a little dignified and fancy. And did the scarf to be just a little different. Colors weren't really that hard. Used a form of tan, kind of like the color usually used with Sherlock Holmes, and then used also the gray from Hifumi's outfits. And did a red scarf just because I thought it would work. In the lore, it's a little bit similar to how he became the ultimate Dojin offer, with his, dream of a fictional character. But you might also notice I'm hinting at a little something different. The idea is that he's actually not the ultimate detective. He just claims to be. While his sister is the actual ultimate detective. Just a fun twist idea I thought could be really cool. And be a little different than the actual original media. Unlike a lot of the other characters, I actually do think he would be a killer in this. that he's fed up with the actual protagonist and their helper and other people figuring out the crimes, that he wants to prove himself by making a crime that no one else would be able to figure out, yet ultimately fails, leading to the truth that he's a fraud, which would also be his secret for Case 2. Ultimate Detective Hifumi Yamada may be a fraud, but he at least looks the part. This weekly video was voted on by the patrons over on Patreon, who, starting at $3 a month, can vote on monthly and weekly art polls like this one, get early access to content, and get monthly art rewards starting with character headshots. So if you can, head over to Patreon to become a patron today. Every little bit helps! Anyways, now back to the video. The Kirigiri clan prided itself in being the best detectives in the world, boasting they'll make an ultimate detective each generation. It may have been skipped with Jin Kirigiri, but it seemed likely his daughter Kyoko Kirigiri would follow her grandfather's footsteps, at least before her mother's death. She was slowly dying, and Kyoko's grandfather tried to hide this from her while on a case, but Jin had his friend Koichi Kizakura contact her, allowing her to be at her mother's side before she passed. After the funeral, Jin and Kyoko cut ties with the rest of the Kirigiri family, trying to move on from their detective ancestry, though both knew that would be futile. Jin would fall in love and later marry another woman, Hiroko Takemi, originally meeting her to help care for Kyoko while he started to work for Hope's Peak, but they grew closer over time, and she helped the young girl out immensely. The two would watch a lot of anime, with one called Justice Angel Magical Masako catching Kyoko's interest the most. The art style, the characters, and story all intrigued and inspired the young girl. She loved it so much, drawing fan art and creating small stories featuring the characters from the anime alongside her own characters, and she was proud of her work, making 2 different AUs for Justice Angel Magical Masako, with one being a more noir-themed series, and a what-if involving Masako and her arch-rival. However, her classmates bullied her relentlessly for it, causing her to be more reserved in public. But that didn't stop Hiroko from encouraging Kyoko to continue her work, helping her make cosplays and props, along with taking her to conventions to meet other artists and show off her work to other fans that did appreciate her. Complimenting her work, since her original eye for detail as a detective helped her match the art and writing styles so well, many wouldn't believe this was a fan work and not something the original creators made. Both her stepmother and her father encouraged Kyoko to take the offer to attend Hope's Peak Academy, under the title of Ultimate Dojin Offer, knowing this would help her grow even more, and maybe even evolve from Ultimate Dojin Offer to either Ultimate Writer or Illustrator, while also showing the Kirigiri clan they could do better without them. But now, Kyoko Kirigiri is trapped in a killing game, a weird stuffed animal claiming to be the headmaster, and no clue if her father's behind this or not. With the ultimate detective fumbling a bit at his talent, it seems the Ultimate Dojin Offer will have to pick up the pieces to help keep the story from falling into despair. Honestly, this is a very funny idea of having Kyoko Kirigiri, who is like probably one of the most serious characters in Danganronpa, be super into like anime, manga, and all that she makes fan art, fan comics, and all that. Being very serious, but also having some cute moments. Her personality is probably now a fusion of her and Chiaki. It's especially when Chiaki gets very into or interested in gaming and talking about games. It would be like that with anime. Originally, I wasn't going to give her stepmother a name, but felt like it kind of is needed to make it a little easier, instead of just saying stepmother over and over. There wasn't a real reason why I chose Takemi as the last name. I chose Hiriko as the first name because the 100 Line Last Defense Academy is currently being Let's Played by people, is very new and all that. So, referencing that. And then just making up an anime for her to be very intensely interested in. I had a little bit of a trouble combination with her hair and eyes, making them work, especially the bangs and just the eye placement. There was some also issues with trying to figure out outfits, but I decided to give her the cat headphones, do a schoolgirl uniform, and gave her leg socks, kind of like Momo from Danganronpa. Looked up some poses for anime girls, which led to adding the prop. The prop is my own design, but obviously very inspired by usual magical girl wands. The hair was also tricky because I didn't entirely know what I wanted to do. I almost tried 2 pigtails that looked a lot like Darumi's pigtails from the 100 Line, but it didn't really work. In the end, figured out a high and long ponytail, along with 2 braids on either side, and I think it looks pretty good. Her colors pretty much match her original colors from the game, and then also there's some stripes on her face, very diva-like, the Overwatch character. That I think works. I really like how the story did come out. It's kind of like the Sayaka one, where just a small change in fate led her down a different path. But it seems like she might still have to do some ultimate detective work. And yes, she would probably be another one of the survivors in this idea. Ultimate Dojin offer Kyoko Kirigiri honestly came out pretty cute, and I hope you like the results as much as I do. And that was round 4 of the Danganronpa Ultimate Swaps. I'm loving the ideas that come up for this, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. If you want to see round 5 happen sooner, then head over to Patreon and join today to vote on the next week's poll. And if you liked what you saw, then leave a like and subscribe to join our growing little Arcane town to be in the know of future videos, updates, and events. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later!